So occasionally on YouTube here, I get the chance to learn new things, try out some new things, and ultimately have some fun. You see, today we are going to look at a smoker grill, like a barbecue smoker grill, which yes, I know is completely out of left field for me and for this channel. But as usual, this isn't just your normal barbecue grill. This has got some extras. This has got some fun stuff that we're going to talk about here today. Stick with me. I promise it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to share it all with you right now. All right, so today we are talking about a company called Brisk It. And yes, the name is like brisket, like beef brisket, but they're called Brisk It. It's a play on words. You see, I know, I had a healthy chuckle at it myself. And what they do is they make what they call smart grills, which are grills that have software added in that takes some of the guesswork out of cooking and getting great results. Specifically, we are looking at the Origin 940 Smart Grill. It's a 100% wood pellet fueled fire grill that offers Wi-Fi connectivity that works with their in-a-grill AI automated cooking app that can smoke, grill, barbecue, bake, roast, sear, and braise all in this one grill. Now, maybe you're starting to see why I wanted to take a look at this thing. It's not just your standard grill. There's a lot of fun tech going on in here, and the way it works is it's pretty easy, actually. It's pretty simple. The grill itself is connected to Wi-Fi and has software running through this keypad here, which is pulling data from two probes that are inserted into the meat that you're cooking. And that data is then sent to an app that is then used to monitor what you're cooking and work the grill and send you instructions and things like that. I'll touch more on that when we actually cook something on this thing here in a second. But first, when it comes to you, when you first get it, I always like to share all these little details about my experience. When it comes to you, it's in this large box, as you can imagine. It's a very large box, and it's mostly broken down, meaning you have to assemble it. I'm mentioning this because I thought they actually did a great job of explaining how to assemble this correctly. You see, I'm sure you've dealt with this in the past. A lot of companies just give you some rather okay instructions and then just fend for yourself pretty much and try to put this thing together. These guys, though, have detailed instructions included, and then they've got video showing how to do it step by step. It's really convenient, and I thought worth mentioning. I think all in all, it took me about 30-40 minutes to assemble this thing and get it ready for its first cook, which I really don't think is that bad. Speaking of that too, before you can cook with this, you do need to season it. I'll be honest, I read that and had no idea what the hell it meant, but once again, there's help. This app that they have is fantastic. There's so much going on in this app. You've got instructions, you've got videos, you've got recipes. I mean, everything is there for how to make this grill work, including the seasoning process, which is what you got to do before you cook. And it tells you step by step what to do. It was completely easy. You fill the hopper with the pellets, which, side note, once again, they've got their own brand of pellets, which obviously they do recommend, but I have found that you can use any pellets. To season it, though, for the first time, you just fill up the hopper there, and then you can actually go into the app and tell it to prime the auger and season the grill. And you just follow the prompts from the app. Something that sounds like work, something that sounds complicated can be done by just hitting a few buttons. It's pretty awesome. And that's really the name of the game of this grill. That's really why I wanted to look at it further and ultimately make a video on it. It takes something that can be a bit complicated, which I know that's up for debate, being that if it's complicated or not. Someone like me, grilling can be complicated. I have zero experience in it. Someone, you might be out there, maybe a pro, but for me, I had no idea what I was doing. It takes something like this, makes it so that someone like me can do this and do it rather well. And what I did was I tested this thing out 2 times, both with a pork shoulder, both following the same recipe so that I could first learn how this thing works. And then later, the second test was to see if I could get the same results twice. Here's where we started. Again, pork shoulder. I got a rub applied here. I got the rub recipe from a channel I like here on YouTube. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's Binging with Babish. I absolutely love that dude. His channel is awesome. But after that, I went into the app. I just went into the app and I selected the recipe and sent it to the grill because you can do that. And it begins by lighting itself, getting itself preheated, and then the app tells me it's time to place the pork shoulder onto the grill. And then, of course, you got to put those probes in there. This is so the grill knows what's going on with the meat. This will come in here in a minute. We'll talk about it, but that's really the big important thing is you got to get those probes inserted there because that tells the grill what's going on with the pork shoulders. But after that, you just leave it alone and let the grill do its thing. The grill itself, through the app, keeps track of the time that it's been there and how long it's cooking, the temperature, everything. You don't have to do a thing. It just does its own thing completely. It's so freaking cool. Once it's time to, the grill will alert you that it's now time for step 2. You can see the instructions here on the screen. I'll show you exactly what it showed me. It tells you everything you must do, which in this case is allow the grill to continue cooking until it reaches 160 internally, and then you spritz it with apple cider vinegar every 30 minutes. Of course, you can use whatever liquid you want. You don't have to use apple cider vinegar, but the important thing is that it's telling you what to do. It's telling you to spritz it every 30 minutes. After that, it has a step 3 and a step 4 that involves wrapping the pork and then continuing to cook until that optimum temperature, which again, the grill has determined. For mine though, for this scenario, for test number 2, it actually cooked a little faster, which caused the grill to adapt its plan. See, it recognized my pork shoulder was cooking faster and actually reached that optimum temperature faster. And if this was just a regular smoking scenario for me, I would have just let that thing sit there and cook because it hadn't been as long a time as I was anticipating. I probably would have ruined the entire thing. And that's kind of what I was referring to earlier. The grill knows how to adapt when it needs to in order to give you a good, reliable result. And I know this isn't, super new and revolutionary. I mean, I myself have seen in the past these probes that you can put on your grill that'll let you know when you've reached internal temp. But what's cool about this is not only does it tell you it's done and it's reached the internal temp, but along the way, it'll actually adjust its own temperature. It'll make it hotter or colder if necessary in order to get a more even cook as well. So I think that's the part that makes this really cool. And it even gives you instructions after it's all done. So here's a look at the pork completely done. It instructs you to let it rest for 1 hour. And of course I did. And then we just gave it a good shredding. I mean, it looks and tasted incredible. It was honestly the best outcome that I myself have produced with a barbecue. And I haven't had that much experience with a barbecue. I'll let you know, I've never had an experience with a smoker. I'm sure there are some out there who are pros at grilling and have had a smoker for years who will look at this and say, big deal. I can get a similar result than that. Super easy. But the thing is, once again, I'm not a pro at this. This was actually my first time ever using a smoker. I had no idea what I was doing, and the grill was able to walk me through things and get me to a point where I could get a really good result. And to me, that's what makes this grill very cool. That's why I wanted to look closer at this and share this with you guys. I said I was going to start looking at stuff that excited me, stuff I thought was cool and really fun to look at, and this was 100% it. And I really want to thank Brisk It for sending this out to me to look at. I had a lot of fun checking this out. Once again, this is the Brisk It Origin 940 Smart Grill with their branded wood pellets. And I want to mention too, for the cover, I do have a cover on this thing. This was something I very much needed. I live on the edge of a forest, so we've got everything from branches, leaves, snow, rain, wild animals that will blow through our backyard at any given moment. So having a cover, I think, is essential. And they make one that perfectly fits this grill. I've had some on other grills in the past that are just big old sheets, and you've got all this excess fabric all over the place. This one fits like a glove. It keeps it perfectly protected. So check that out as well if you're looking at one of these grills for yourself for the holiday season or for the upcoming spring and summer. So make sure you check them out and make sure you also do the big 3 for me: like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for stopping by today and checking this out with me. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.